Hi, it's Annalie. Today I have another mystery card that I'm going to make. It's not only a mystery to you, it's also a mystery to me. I like to just go into my craft stashes, my drawers, and close my eyes and pull out any random item. So I did that today. I went into my Altenew die drawer and I pulled out this Altenew Coreopsis layering die set. I went into my frames drawer and I pulled out this Pinkfresh diagonal stitch nesting rectangular dies. I'll use those. And I went into my embossing folders and I pulled out the Spellbinders, but I don't know the name of it. So I'm gonna use those. And then I also closed my eyes and picked a drawer of colors. And so I have my blues and purples. And then just to add a different dimension, I also went into my Mica stain drawer, and I pulled out a yellow mica stain. So we're gonna try to blend all of these together and see what we can come up with. So I guess for my first flower, I will choose, I do like blue and yellow. I like purple and yellow together too. I had purple and yellow for my wedding. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with the purples for the flowers and then a yellow background. So I'm thinking this is a good color combination. Lavender Fields, Deep Iris, and Midnight Violet. So that's what I will use for these flowers. And now I just need a purple brush and a larger purple brush, and we'll start with that. So to begin with, I will start with Lavender Fields, and I will just blend this, covering all the way to the tips. But if I don't get the whole thing covered, I'm okay with that. It leaves some highlights, and I think that looks pretty. For those of you who have not used the Altenew keyhole system, these flowers have a big keyhole in the middle. They also have a number on the side, so you know when to layer each one. The keyholes all make one flower. This has a little arrow on the inside. All the little arrows make a second flower. So it's very, very easy to put this whole system together. They look very complicated. They are not. They're so easy. All right, now I think I'm gonna use a smaller blending brush. This is a brand new one for my purples. And I'm just gonna come in and go not all the way to the end, but I'll make a fairly large circle in the middle, just to bring in a little bit of depth into the middle. You want a nice even blend. You don't want to see lines. So that's Deep Iris, and then for the Midnight Violet, actually, I might use a purple wine. I'm just gonna try that and see what that does in the middle. Just for fun. Because it's easy to stay within the family group that comes together, but I'm gonna just try to mix it up a little bit. So I'm grabbing the purple wine and we're gonna put that as the deepest part in the center. Okay, so those are the flowers. Now there's also, I like to look at the guide just to get an idea. So they did a lighter color flower with a dark and then a lighter here. So maybe I will go now with the Midnight Violet. Actually, I think I will go with the Midnight Violet on these and keep the other lighter. So maybe those can be, I already have fingerprints on them. Should I go back with Lavender Fields? And then I kind of oh, I guess for the contrast, I'll use the purple wine on here. Not much of a contrast though, is it really? But, oops, what am I doing? And then for this little bud, I'll just do that like that. Okay. And for the leaves, I think we'll keep leaves green. We'll keep the leaves green for right now. I did not clean my pad very well the last time I used it, I'm noticing. I'm gonna go with jade and eucalyptus. Again, the jade will go more to the ends, although again, if it doesn't get right to the tips or leaves any white, I am okay with that. So there's the jade. Bring in the eucalyptus, which will go more in the middles, just for like a shadowy area, a little bit of depth and contrast. And that is it on the flowers. I just think that they're going to be a little bit too boring. I may have to cut out this center part again. Actually, I'm going to cut out that center part again, and I'm going to use yellow. So I'm going to use my Distress Mica stain, and I recut these, and I'm going to just spray those so that they're a bright shiny yellow and give them a little bit of time to dry on their own. It doesn't take very long. And while we're waiting for that to dry, I will come in and assemble the rest of these flowers and show you just how easy it is. So, as I said, the keyholes all go together, and I can see that there is a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. So we'll start there. And what I like to do is I like to just put the glue right along the back of that keyhole. I do not put it onto the flower petals themselves because I like my flower petals to be wispy and move in the breeze. And then right on the back of number 3 goes right onto number 2. And then I will find the rest that go together. Not that. This keyhole goes on here. There's no number on here. And if you do get confused, there's always a guide. It's either on the inside or this, in this case, it's right on the back, and it just shows you 1, 2, 3, and then, oh, 4 goes next. It's a good thing I was showing you. So I don't need this one quite yet. I'm ready for this. So 4 will go next. And then this keyhole, and hopefully this is dry enough that it'll hold it. And then this one is to cover up the keyhole, so you just match up the edges and try not to move it. And then this one again, you just match up the edges. It goes right into place. That was pretty easy. Then we do the same thing again with the arrow and work with this one. They make such pretty little flowers. And by the way, this mica is dry. See, it doesn't take very much time at all. But if you need to, you can always hit it with your heat gun to dry it faster. And if you want it to be more blended, add some water and it will blend together very nicely, very smooth. I used to use these mica stains a lot more, and I've kind of forgotten about them, so I'm trying to bring them back into my life because they add so much glitter and sparkle. So pretty. All right, there is the second flower. I'm just holding it together with my reverse tweezers just in case that mica spray wasn't completely dry. Now let's see, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to use my fingers for this one. I'm not gonna be able to use my fingers. This is too small. So this one is just a little bud that you put together like this. And then it just sets right on top of here. And then we have all of our pieces for that. Okay, now I have my embossed background and I have my frames. So I cut out 2 different size frames because I'm not sure yet which size I want, or maybe I want both together. I love the white on white, but I'm doing a challenge for myself, so I have to use more color. I think I will spray the background and leave the frame white. So I need my box back in. I'm just going to do a little bit of a spray around there. Oh! And of course, when you drop something, it always drops the colored side down onto the floor, right? I think I like the double frame. I just cut off a tiny little bit. I cut off, so it'll be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I've never done this, but I might try to keep them together and add the tape on top. Is that, you think that's asking too much? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be brave, daring. I'm gonna hold them together and I'm going to just put the tape right across here. There, and then they will stay together as well as adhering to the base. Okay, there were a couple little marks on this one. Remember that? So I'm going to put those at the bottom where I can try to make sure to cover it. And I'm going to This goes on straight. Great. Now before I put everything else on, I am going to attach it to the card base, just because I think it's easier to do that without all of the layers on. I do it both ways. But I'm going to attach this on here. There's a little bit of glue sticking out there, but I didn't notice it until now, so a little bit of tape. First, what I think is that these leaves are a little bit dull, and I'm going to come back in with just a little bit of forest fern, just to liven them up a little. Kind of wish I could do this one, but gently around the edges. That might give it the boost I need. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. I find these leaves to be so funny because they go in different directions, so it's almost hard for me to figure out where they go. I think better like that. And then if it's going like that, I could make this work up here. Yeah, I think that's how I like it. So then I'll keep the flowers in place, add some glue to my leaves. And then I'm going to add foam square on the back of this. And to bring the flowers up so that they're the same level as the frame, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. And there we have a quick and simple card. I did my challenge. I used everything I said I would. I'm also going to grab just a little bit of my aqua shimmer pen and just go around this part of the flower, just to add a little bit more sparkle and shimmer, and maybe even here. Yeah, and then inside. Inside's a little dull. There we have it. Quick and easy. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really love it if you do. That way I can see you again really soon. Have a great day.